Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our First Ladies Talk Show, and the name is Let's Chat. Please welcome our first guest, an amazing lady with some great information. Welcome, Martha Lou. I hope you enjoy being here with me, and I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, thank you, Judy. Well, to start off with, I was born right down the road at Middletown. And of course, after I finished my schooling here, I took a couple courses at Ohio State and then ended up at a school for histological technicians. And from there, of course, I moved around using that education, different places. And I ended up last time at a lab in Springfield, Ohio, and that's where I met my husband. And at the time, he and I both were in our 40s, so we did not have children, neither one of us, and we were married for about 25 years. And unfortunately, my husband died in about 2004. Well, having no children, we both decided that I should move back here to Middletown, where my family lived. I still had one brother and two sisters living in Middletown. Had a younger sister living in California. So anyway, of course, that's what got me to Otterbein.
That's good.
And that was about 2006, 2007.
Okay.
So anyway, I started volunteering, and first volunteered mainly in the birthdays, which was very exciting. It was interesting, and at that time, the ladies from the church provided the cakes. So we had 3 or 4 different types of cake every time, which was very nice.
Yes.
And then, like everything and everybody, things change. It changed for them, so they had to stop. And then it took over then the Otterbein took over the birthdays. But before then, I had been approached about the volunteering in the library. I knew nothing about the library, but I knew I loved books. And in fact, I've been kidded because I have 11 library cards.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Well, people
From
have
all
to,
over the place, you mean?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. But people have to realize that not every library carries every author that you like or every book that you like.
Okay.
So that's one of the reasons there's
That's
so
interesting.
many.
Yeah, I'm lucky to have one.
And then I volunteered in the library for maybe, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 years, but unfortunately I'm the type of person who likes to know what goes on behind the scenes, and I ask too many questions. So when the lady who was in charge had found out she had to leave, everybody thought I should take over. And
Good choice.
I said, no, I knew nothing about the library, nothing whatsoever. But no, she could find no one else. No one else wanted to take over. So I said, finally, okay. Now, if I had known then what I found out afterwards, I may have continued to say no. But anyway.
We needed you.
Anyway, I loved working in the library. And so you retired recently, I know, because we got a picture. Oh, yes. But before retirement, I also, and this was something else I did myself, I started writing articles, which I'm not an author at all, I'm not a writer, for Echoes.
Yes.
But when I did that, I found out that I could tell people more about the library. And so I've got a couple of articles here that I thought explained a little bit about the way the library worked. One, this says, and this we have a copy of still in the library. That's,
I'll have to look at it.
It says, most people may look at our library and only see how small it is, which it truly is, unfortunately. We who volunteer there think that while it may be small, it is mighty. If these people look closer, they would see that even though it is small, there is a large variety of reading material. Not only are there newspapers and magazines, but we have nonfiction books at a large variety of subjects. We have them in regular and large print, books by Audubon authors, as well as a lot of paperbacks. And to help those who may need or want it, we have a reading material which will magnify the reading material. Unfortunately, right now, that is not working, and I'm not sure if they're planning on replacing that or not. In the coming months, we hope to go into more detail about the different books and their subjects that matter. And another one I wrote, it's a short summary of how we process our books. When a book is donated to the library, we check to see if it has been published in the last 10 years. Because our space is so limited, we do not feel we can accept any older. We then check to see if we have it in our inventory or if it has been discarded in the last 2 years, because if not, if not having been read, if the book is accepted, it will go through several steps before it put on the shelf. A processing slip will be filled out using information found in the book. The pocket, checkbook out card, and 2 file cards will be typed using this information. And unfortunately, we do not have a typewriter and haven't had for maybe a whole year. So now everything has been being written by pen. Everyone writes everything out with pen or pencil.
That's a lot of extra work.
And the pocket and check out card will be put in an appropriate place in the book, and the cards filed in a cabinet file. The information from the processing slip will be entered into the accession book as well as the computer until we are certain our total inventory has been computerized. A label is then made with classification and author's name and put on the spine book.
I think people don't realize how much work there is involved in just taking care of the books, bringing in new ones. That explains it real well.
Yeah, well, that's what I was hoping, to do.
Yes.
Now, and also, some of the things have to be taken care of and changed. There have been changes since I took over. There have been changes made to the library, even my not knowing much about the library. Still, after you work in the library for a while, volunteer in the library, you realize things could be done a little differently that might help out. And since I was there, somebody donated a computer to us.
Oh.
Well, of course, we had to get all the books recorded into the computer.
Wow.
And at that time, we had over 2,000 books, and they had to be recorded. And also somebody donated. Oh, And also, anytime we did anything different, a new procedure had to be written up how we handled that particular problem. And thankfully, all through the years, I've had wonderful, wonderful volunteers.
Good.
I've always said I could not do anything without my volunteers. And then, of course, after we got the computer, somebody donated about 50 audio books to us.
Yes, that was something I don't know much about that. And we do have people who don't see well, and we want to hear about that.
Well, unfortunately, here again, we had to write up a new procedure and everything for the audiobooks. They had to be handled differently than regular
Yes.
books. But fortunately, they're easy. The directions for using them are
good.
easy to understand. There's directions on the case that it comes with. There's directions on the little thing where the actual tape is. There's directions on it. And then also, we made a copy. We made a copy of everything that talked about what was on that particular book, and put it in a notebook, which is kept on the desk, so anyone can go in and look through the notebook and see what's in a particular auto book, and see whether or not they would be interested in it. And also, we have a more detailed procedure typed out that tells you a little more about how to use the audio.
I volunteered for a little bit for someone who was off sick, but she came back, so I lost my spot, but I'd still like to volunteer. Do you want to talk a little bit about needing volunteers? We do need volunteers.
Oh, okay. Yes, there's always a need for volunteers because unfortunately they have to come and go,
Yes,
They're
of
doing
course.
different things and such. And you can always call the volunteer leader
Yes.
and talk to her.
So if you're looking for something and you don't want to, you just want to see all the people coming through and go through book, then volunteer at the library, right? It's a very a busy place. People walk through it. And
Yes, yeah. And let's see. Now, when it came to the place where I decided, after I'd been there so many years, that it was time, I would kind of like to do other things. And also, I was having problems, like medical problems and so on and so forth and such. And my family said, time to give it up. Well, Rhonda knew over a year ago that I was looking for someone. In fact, I would go in when somebody volunteered that I thought, I'd go in and say, Rhonda, I think I found her. I didn't. And I couldn't find anybody. And finally came to the conclusion that I was going to have to set a date. So at that time, I also began to hear a little bit about they're going to redo the
yes,
whole what they called Mean Street.
yes.
And it was going to include the library. And I thought, oh my, what a good time to resign. So of course, I knew nothing about exactly what they had planned or anything to do with the library, but I did find out that they were going to replace the rug that I had asked for ever since I'd been there because it had a big tear in it. I had asked for them to do that. And I had asked for them to repaint because they had started painting and stopped, but assured me, oh, we won't leave until we finish the painting. Well, that's been, I don't know how many years ago. But anyway, they're going to do that.
Good, good.
And then another thing they're going to do that I know is replace the bookshelves.
Okay. That would
Yes,
be,
yes. But other than that,
Well, maybe
I
they'll
don't
call
know
you
for sure.
in to advise them on things that need done.
Oh, no, they've told me nothing. No. But they have found
Okay.
somebody who will and who has taken over, because when I went in and told Rhonda exactly, gave her exact date, my birthday, I said my birthday's coming in July, and as I told her this in May, in the beginning of May, I want to give her plenty of time. I said, I'm leaving my birthday, and she said, that's fine. Well, I knew she already knew that, because you can't keep a secret here. So that wasn't secret, but I wanted to tell her especially, And so then she told me then that she'd found 2 people.
Oh, 2. That might be good to have 2 to share it.
Well, she said that they had, 2 people to take my place. But so far, only 1 has been working. And the person that's taken my place is well qualified.
Wonderful.
More so than I ever was. This lady has worked in a library for years and years.
Well, she sounds like a good
Yes.
replacement.
She is. And also, with her and somebody new, you're going to get new ideas.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, that's
yeah.
true.
They're going to see things a little differently than I did, because like I say, she will know more. And then with the new that they're doing with the library, I don't know what the changes will be.
And it'll be a good time for her to step in at the beginning of that so she can learn us.
Which she has taken over now.
Okay.
She has taken over now.
Good.
And so, and I told her, which I would help her in any way I could. And of course, we've talked, about things and so on and so forth and such. So, yes, so it's been really a good
Do you want to tell the new people where it's located? Because a lot of new people may not know where the library is located.
Oh, okay. It's right across from the post office.
Yes.
And one side.
Yes.
And on the other side, it's next door to the main. Well, I don't know if they call it the main entrance to the dining room.
I know, and
But it's right there, and also at time heard you hear all kinds of things, gossip and so on and so forth. Somebody said they were going to open up a coffee shop right there at the door leading into the restaurant.
That would be interesting and nice.
But I don't think that's what they're going to do. I'm not sure.
I'm not either.
I'm not sure either.
Told us a little
And then,
bit.
of course, right next to that is the chapel.
Yes.
Where the chapel is. So it's easy. It's easy to find.
But I've run into more new people that say, where is this and where is that? They kind of get lost. So if they're looking for the library, that'll give them a good idea where it is. Mm-hmm. So, well, that for these years, the library has been your passion.
Oh, yes, it is, yes. And, of course, like I say, there's been a lot of changes, made a lot of changes while I was there, and there'll be a lot of more changes coming after I've gone. And the one thing I'm hoping, though, the library was started way back for people who could not get their reading material any other place.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And through the years, they've always kept to that. And I hope with this taking over that they'll keep that in mind, because
I
this
do
is
too.
not like a regular outdoor library. They have more responsibilities. You know, we have more responsibility to those people who still cannot get a book maybe on their own, who really, really need the help
Yes.
to get a book and such. So I hope, and I'm sure that as they're thinking of changes that need to be made, you know, in the library, that they'll keep that in mind.
Absolutely. They need to find a new way to program the books when they come in instead of have to handwrite them.
Okay, yes. Now I think the library program that we have on our computer was donated to us. It was bought by, I forget, this is terrible, I forget whether it was a group of the Eagles or something like that anyway. And they do have an upgrade, but we haven't been able to use that upgrade because somewhere it had to be, our computer and program had to be hooked up by Audubon's tech department.
Okay.
So when they did this, of course, I don't know how they did it. As the saying goes, it was above my pay grade. So when we called to find out about upgrading the program we had, they said, okay, but we need your password.
Those wonderful passwords.
Yes. Unfortunately, tech said
Never
they
gave
don't
you
have
a
a
password.
password for it. And the other place where we bought it from said, oh yes, you did. And they said, no, we don't. We don't have it. We don't have
It sounds
a
so
password.
familiar, yes.
So that's where we are. So yes, there is a way to do more on the computer.
Yes.
You just have to find that way.
Someone
And
to
like
come
I
in
say,
and find the password or change it.
Yes.
Kevin ought to be able to do that. So we are getting to the end of our show, and I thank you for being such a delightful guest.
Okay,
And
there.
she's got a little phrase she wants to
Yes,
say.
there are a few little things I want to say about the library. Two things I want to
Okay.
quote. One is by a certain lady, and she says, when I think of all the things books can do, I think of the saying of Katharina Meyer. A book is a magic thing that lets you travel to faraway places without ever leaving your chair. And I added this, we hope that the next book you read will put a little magic in your life.
Oh, I like that very
And
much.
this one, I really, I like too. And this was a quote from T.S. Eliot. The very existence of libraries affords the best evidence that we may yet have hope for the future of man.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. Yes. Well,
Yes,
that-
I
that's
like the
very
library.
good information about the library, which I think we all wanted to know, and we're anxious to see what they do in the future. And we're glad they're keeping it,
Yes.
just maybe updated a little
Yes.
bit.
Well, as anybody asks me about the new library, I say, I don't know exactly, but I know it's going to look pretty.
Good, yes.
It's going to look
yes.
pretty.
I don't know if they know for sure what they're doing, but
No.
they will do a good job on it.
No,
So-
it'll take, I'm sure, a lot of thinking.
Well, thank you for being my first guest. I really enjoyed having you and learning about the library. And if you would like to say goodbye to the people out there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Do you have a
yes.
little quote or something?
Well, no, somebody gave this to the library, and it's a little cartoon. If you can't see it, but it's from the Family Circus, and it's one of the little girls in it, and she says, "Books are better than TV. If you fall asleep while reading, you don't miss the ending."
That is very good. Yes, very
Yes.
good. Well, I hope we're all going to be anxious to see the new and improved library, but we thank you for all your time and work, hard work.
I enjoyed everything about it,
Good.
except the writing and maybe the talking.
Oh, well, you're always going to have a little bit of that.
Yes.
But
Yes.
so, are we almost out, Kevin? Okay, goodbye, everybody. We'll see you again. Thank you very much,
You're
Martha
welcome.
Lou.
You're welcome.